If we take our document, the Access Manual Extract, which is 8 pages long, we can use this to demonstrate a variety of different views that we get in Microsoft Word and ways of navigating through those pages and views. The default view that we see here is Print Layout View. This lays out the document as it will be printed. So you see the left-hand margin, the top margin, the right-hand margin, and you see the edges of the paper, both top and bottom. Now you can, in this view, if you go between the pages here, it says double click to hide the white space. So you can actually get rid of the top and the bottom margin, should that be easier for you to scroll through, or you can bring it back by doing the double click in the same place. That way giving you an idea of how your pages are going to be laid out, hence the name Print Layout. Now navigating through Print Layout is as simple as a little scroll or the arrow keys on your keyboard. But if you've got a large document, you may want to move through the document a lot faster and quicker. We can get right back to the beginning of a document by doing Control and Home. Takes you right back to the top of page 1. If you need to go to the other end, it's Control and End. And that takes us to the very end of the document. So you have 2 quick ways of getting right to the beginning or right to the end. I know we only have 8 pages, but that could so easily be 800 pages or 8,000 pages, and you might want to be able to get to the end to add some more in. We can also move up through the document using Page Up on the keyboard, and that will move you not literally a page, but a screen view. So however much you can see, you move up to see the next batch, and the next batch, and the next batch, and the next batch. So it's not a page, it's a screen. Page up and page down moves you a screen up and down at a time. If we throw in the Control key and go up and down, you'll find that Control Page Up and Control Page Down does move you to the top of the next or the previous page. So Control Page Down takes us to the top of the next page. Control Page Up brings us to the top of the previous page. So that's quite a quick way of moving through the pages of your document instead of doing a page screen at a time and attempting to get to the top of the next page, because the Control Page Up and the Control Page Down will take you exactly to the top of the next and the previous pages. So those are quick keyboard navigation skills and tips for moving through a largish document very, very quickly. Now the other views, other than Print Layout, which is fairly popular, is firstly, if we go to the View ribbon, Reading Mode, which is new to 2013. Now Reading Mode is really aimed at touch screens because it allows you to read horizontally. So it will show as much as you can read, as we can see there, and then we go to the right to see the next lot of text. So the data is now broken down not into pages, but into screens, and down in the status bar at the bottom left, we can see screen X of Y. So I'm currently on screen 4 and there are 17. Now I can move left and right using the left and right arrows, and that will move me to the next screen. Or if I have a touchpad, I can just wipe my finger across and that will move me to the next screen in either direction, so the next or the previous screen. So it's quite a new mode, this reading mode, but very easy for you to be able to then read through Word documents, other than the page layout, which is really aimed at paper, obviously. Now to exit reading mode, you either choose another view. On the bottom right here, we have other little view shortcuts, Print Layout and even Web Layout, or we can press Escape on the keyboard and that will drop you out of reading mode and into Print Layout, where we can then access further views. So we have the 2 very useful views, Reading Mode for reading on the screen and Print Layout to see what it's going to look like on paper. We also have a Web Layout option, should you be using Word to create web pages or information for blogs. We also have an Outline option, which effectively just shows you the headings and the text under those headings. So you can see these are sort of listed as little bullets, so you can see the level of each piece of text. Now that outlining really works best when you start to explore styles. Now we can close the outline view because it's a completely different view, and that will take us back to Print Layout. Then from the view, we also have a draft option, which takes away all formatting for pages or reading and just shows us the bare text. So here we don't see where the left-hand margin is or the right-hand margin is, or where the top or the bottom of the page is. We do get a dotted line when the page changes from one to the next. So we can see there, that's page 4, and we go into here, that's page 5. And all the bare formatting is removed as well when you're in draft layout view. It's really aimed at being able to read through the text content and you're not interested in the colours and the boldness and all that kind of thing. Or we can go back to Print Layout, which is the fairly default common view. So you have all these different views, print, reading, web, outline and draft. All different ways of looking at exactly the same document, exactly the same text, just different ways, depending on what you're trying to achieve. If we're building a document that wants to print out, such as a training manual, you'd really want to be in print layout view so you can see where the page is going to change, how it's going to look on the page. If you're just interested in reading a document, then reading mode is ideal because it allows you just to flick through a screen at a time, left to right. Web layout if you're producing text for a web where there are no page options. Outline view if you're dealing with a really very large document and you want to break down into the style settings. And then draft if you're just interested in the actual text content. All of those views are accessible from the View ribbon, all in the top left here. The main ones are accessible from the shortcuts on the status bar here, which is Reading, Print Layout and Web. So the three icons there will move you very quickly into each of those three views.